psoas major. For us, for these models, we're just going to call it the psoas muscle. We don't have to differentiate minors and majors, okay? So that's number one up here, the psoas.
Just the psoas.
Yeah. Our models don't get as specific as majors and minors for the psoas muscles. All right. So the psoas muscle, you don't really get an appreciation for it on these models, but really it's a huge muscle. Look at what it's doing. It's originating on your lumbar vertebrae, and then it goes all the way down, and it actually inserts on your femur. So it's a really powerful muscle for doing this kind of motion. It's basically holding your torso up on top of your legs. It's a really strong postural muscle, and I can also tag it in these models here because they do a really good job of showing it. That's the big psoas muscle in there. It's like the biggest muscle in your body, but most people don't even know about it.
On those 160, it's got a good like showing of it.
Yeah, it's in the older models too. Big, deep, huge muscles. This one here.
160, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah. Huge, big muscle bodies in here. Okay. No, it's way too deep. It's coming out of your vertebral column.
You have to get a knife and like open yourself up.
Yeah. It's a really clinically significant muscle because it will atrophy or tighten in people too. And so like what will happen is if somebody is wheelchair bound for a while or bed bound for a while, if you are sitting for a long time, those muscles will tighten like this. And then when they stand up, they stay down like this because those muscles are pulling their torso down. Mm-hmm. And so you might think it's like a back issue or something, but it's the psoas muscles are tight from sitting so long. And you do stretches and you loosen those back up and they can stand up straight again. Sometimes also those muscles will atrophy, they'll get really weak, and the person can't hold their torsos up over their legs, and so they'll fall back like this, and you have to kind of help them walk and then get those muscles back up and working again. They're really important for posture. And they cause a lot of problems because, you know, if people aren't walking, then they're losing that muscle tone for the psoas. So it's that big number one right there. Yep, it's a huge, powerful muscle. All right, what's next? Iliacus. It's kind of a counterpart with the psoas. Sometimes they're combined as known as the iliopsoas muscle, but it goes right where you think it would from that iliac crest, and it kind of runs along with the psoas and inserts on the femur.
Always, right?
Yeah, number 2, iliopsoas or iliacus. I think over there,
It does a better job.
either there, it's either the iliacus or the iliopsoas. If you say either one, you'll be okay.
I think it's the iliacus, but
Is it the iliacus over there as well? All right. Gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. Gluteus maximus, number 3. Just deep to the gluteus maximus is the gluteus medius, number 4. And I don't think these models have the gluteus minimus.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's on this list. So you can probably cross that one off.
is it number 4 on there by chance?
I think number 4 is the medius.
the number 4 is the medius, number 3 is the gluteus.
Yeah, no gluteus minimus. So
Together.
take that one off.
But do keep maximus and medium.
Yes. Yeah. Those are easy ones, right? You want those on the list.
Yeah.
All right. What else is on there?
Tensor fascia lata.
Tensor fascia latte.
Number 9.
Okay. Well, latte means white.
It's a white muscle.
It's a white muscle. Fascia means it has like a lot of connective tissue in it, correct? And it's probably number 9 on your list. Tensor fascia latte. Yeah. So this muscle here, see it's on the lateral leg. It pulls on this big white band. It's called your iliotibial band, or the IT band. If you're a runner, you've probably heard of your IT bands. It can cause problems in runners. It can become sore and irritated. Tibial tract or iliotibial band. Tensor fascia latte. It's just a little bit of muscle embedded in this big iliotibial band of connective tissue. All right. What else we got?
Piriformis.
Piriformis. Yes, the piriformis is a cool muscle. Pop this off. And number 5 right there is the piriformis. And it's really easy to find because that big sciatic nerve comes out right by it. And that's why this one made the list, because it has some clinical significance. The piriformis muscle, depending on the person, has a different arrangement with that sciatic nerve. In some people, the sciatic nerve comes out from underneath the muscle, like this one. In some people, the sciatic nerve can come out over the muscle. And in some people, the piriformis actually splits, and the sciatic nerve comes out through the middle of it. And now, if you're like that, and this piriformis muscle gets irritated and starts to contract, it's going to squeeze on that sciatic nerve and cause sciatica.
You get shooting pains.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yep. So if that if that piriformis muscle is twitchy, it can cause the sciatica. So if you have some kind of, they call it a somatic dysfunction, something out of alignment in your hips, and you're pulling that piriformis muscle out of, alignment, straining it. Guys have more trouble with sciatic nerves than girls do because guys sit on wallets. That kind of throws your hip off as you're sitting. Irritate that muscle. So that's an easy one to find because of the sciatic nerve right by it.
We got vastus lateralis medialis.
Vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. Okay. You didn't get the glomerulis or the obturator? No?
No, it's on.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll cover that back up then. So vastus lateralis, vastus medialis are 2 of your quadriceps, your big thigh muscles, and they're right where they should be. Vastus medialis, number 11B, 11B, and vastus lateralis, 11C. Vastus because they're big.
The lateralis is
11C, yep.
There's the vastus intermedius.
Yep. These 2, the rectus femoris and the vastus intermedius, is that what it is?
yeah.
Vastus intermedius are your quadriceps, yeah. There's 4 muscles in your quadriceps, right? So vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, and you got to pop off the rectus femoris to find the vastus intermedius.
Maybe try taking off
Gotta
9
take off that.
or 6 or whatever that one is.
Yeah. There we go.
I actually think it's in the
11,
Yeah.
11D, does that make sense? This one in here is the vastus intermedius. So those are your 4 quadriceps.
It's not bad.
11D.
11D, yep, right where they should be.
It's really easy to remember just by the names too, where they're at. Just remember vastus.
Vastus means big, rectus means straight up and down. It's erect, it's going straight up and down.
So the rectus femoris is just that big up and down muscle.
Big up and down muscle going right along the femur.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, is that one?
Rectus femoris. Yep. So those are your quadriceps.
What number was the rectus femoris?
Rectus
was
femoris,
11A.
11A.
And then there's also the sartorius.
All right, sartorius is really easy. It's this long, skinny muscle that kind of wraps around the leg.
The one that you pulled off?
Yeah, I kind of pulled off the top of it here.
Okay.
That's the sartorius. So it's kind of like that supinator, or the pronator teres in the arm. It has this kind of wrapping motion, so it's for internal and external rotation, right? Sartorius. I forgot what the name means. What's that? What else is there?
What number was
Sartorius.
10.
10 is the sartorius. The gracilis,
Yeah.
number 15, right in the middle of the inner thigh. What kind of motion would that be for? it originates, look at that, it originates on your pubic bone,
The abduction.
and then it inserts like on the inside of the knee.
Yeah,
It's gonna pull your leg down and in, right? So it's an adductor. Yep. All these guys here, adductors.
So then what is the adductor magnus?
Adductor magnus, where do you think? That's the gracilis.
Behind it.
We need a big one in the middle thigh. Plus, yep, this one right here, number 14.
And what's 13?
Is 13. Adductor, adductor longus. Adductor longus.
You're
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make
14's
sure.
adductor
Yeah,
magnus.
yeah.
13's adductor longus.
Yeah, it's on the list. The longest.
Longest isn't on the list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Blink.
Nice to know.
I didn't put on the list because you've got a couple adductors right here with the gracilis and the adductor magnus. So
Well, let's see after those though. Or we have to do.
We've got the semi-tendinosis.
semitendinosus, semimembranous.
That's 17.
All right. So we've done the quadriceps. So you've got, good flexion of the hip, right? Or flexion of the thigh, of the leg rather. You've got adduction. Now we need some. I'm sorry. You've done the quadriceps for extension.
Probably on the lateral side.
Now we got medial ones for adduction. Now you need hamstrings for flexion, right? That's what I was looking for. So for the hamstrings, you've got your semitendinosus and semimembranous. And those guys are a pair right here. They're the medial ones. The semitendinosus runs on top of the semimembranous. The way I remember it, semitendinosus is mostly just a long, skinny tendon. Semimembranous, it's broader, flatter. You can see it kind of squishing out from underneath the semitendinosus.
What number was this on that?
Semitendinosus?
It's 17.
Semitendinosus is 16.
Oh.
Semimembranous is 17. Double check ourselves. 16, semitendinosus. 16.
Oh, we got those mixed up. All right.
Semimembranous is 17. So those are the medial ones. Your hamstrings. The lateral one is the bicep femoris. Bicep femoris. And if you kind of think about like your leg like a backwards arm, the hamstrings and the bicep femoris has kind of the same action on your knee that your bicep brachii has on your elbow.
You said we don't need to know like any longer.
No, just the muscle bodies. Alright, what else we got on there? Tibialis anterior, right where it should be. On front of the tibia, yep, number 13 it looks like. Tibialis anterior.
It's number 19.
Oops, what did I say?
13.
Yeah, it's a 19 on there.
Oh,
It's smudged. It's a
okay,
19.
okay.
Yep, sorry. It's a 19. Tibialis anterior. What kind of action would that have?
So like
Yeah, you can feel it when you do that. Dorsiflexion, very good. Dorsiflexion, yeah. Nice. All right, what else we got?
extensor digitorum longus.
Extensor digitorum longus. So something that's gonna straighten the toes. Yeah, I'm liking 21 right there. So it goes right down to the toe, just like you had in the arm.
Yeah.
Extensor digitorum. Extensor digitorum longus, yeah.
21.
Yep. What else we got?
Fibularis longus.
Fibularis longus, all right.
22.
And that's this one right here, right along the fibula, to that lateral malleolus, right where it should be.
Is it 22?
22, yep, fibularis. Did you have a longus and brevis, or just the fibularis?
Just the longest. The brevis is not highlighted.
Okay, then just the longest. There's a brevis in there too, but same action. Therefore, like eversion, kind of pointing the toes out. All right. What is it? The plantaris?
Yeah, that's number 25.
Okay, plantaris. That one's kind of deep, so let's go over some other ones first and dig to the plantaris. Gastrocnemius, that's your big, powerful calf muscle right here. Gastrocnemius. All right. You take off the gastrocnemius. Just deep to the gastrocnemius is another muscle, the soleus. All right.
24C.
Just deep to the gastrocnemius. The gastrocnemius is like a powerful muscle for jumping or running or something like that. And the soleus is more a postural muscle, walking, standing, that sort of thing. The gastrocnemius is always your example of your type 2, fast twitch, powerful muscles. And the soleus is kind of like the counterpart that's more of like the type 1, oxidative, postural muscle.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
What do we eat?
Oh, you can just leave it up at the front podium. Thank you. And the plantaris is this long, skinny one that kind of goes between the gastrocnemius and the soleus.
Oh. And then the soleus would be more.
Yeah, they numbered it. You gotta take it off, and then they numbered it there, 24.
So this is okay. So it's deeper
Deep to the gastrocnemius. Yep.
than the soleus.
I thought that part was the Achilles heel.
Yeah, the tendons of the gastrocnemius and the soleus and probably the plantaris, I'm not 100% sure, all come together to form the Achilles.
So the plantaris is just here.
Yep, this is the plantaris, this is the body,
Gotcha.
and then it has a little tendon that comes all the way down. And what it does is it goes from the back of the leg, but then it kind of comes around to the back of the foot, and so it's going to help point your toes down. If you pull up on this, the toes go down, right? So it helps with plantar flexion, plants your foot, so plantaris. The way I find it and remember it, to me it kind of looks like a rose on a stem. It looks like a plant. It looks like a flower on a stem.
So if you were to show that, you would remove the gastroc.
Yep, I would just have it kind of reflected like this, so you could see that I took this off to get to that.
Okay.
Yep. So gastrocnemius, soleus, plantaris. What else we got?
Extensor digitorum.
Longus muscle
Extensor digitorum.
or flexor or
Oh, flexor digitorum.
Flexor digitorum
yeah.
longus.
All right. Let's see. Flexor
27.
digitorum 27 on our list. I'm looking for something that's going to curl the toes, right?
So that would be like on
So it's
top.
probably under here. Yeah, pop off that whole thing there, and there's a few under here. But what these are doing is going from the back of the tibia under the foot to the bottom of the foot. So they're kind of going around this way. So you've got your 27, which is the flexor digitorum longus. So it's going. Avoid getting hit in the head. Gluteus maximus. So 27 is going like this, kind of going under that tibia, and then to these tendons to the toes.
What about this one? Like the one that goes under the foot?
That one I'm not 100% sure. 36. Flexor digitorum brevis. Yeah. So you've got the longest here and the brevis down there. But they're both working to flex.
Brevis meaning like the shorter one?
The shorter one. Exactly right. Yeah.
Why don't they just say minor? Is it brevis because it's directly for feet?
Say that
Like how
again?
is it brevis like how there's brachy?
Oh, longest and brevis. Brevis means short, like brief. Why they use majors and minors and brevis and longus? I'm not exactly sure. Okay. What else we got?
We got a extensor digitorum brevis.
Extensor digitorum brevis. Okay. So something's going to straighten the toes. It's going to have to be on top here. And it's right here, number 31. Extensor digitorum brevis. Extensor digitorum longus is this one. Extensor digitorum brevis is that little deep one in there.
So the brevis under the
Yeah.
longus.
Yeah. And it's much shorter than the longest.
Where's the longest side?
The longest is this one.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Looks like we said it was 21. Extensor
How do
digitorum
you
longus.
how do you pronounce the word in
For
front
third,
of the
the third one.
Is that on the list?
Digitorum. Digitorum. Yeah, but you had extensor digitorum and flexor digitorum in the arm too, right? 31?
Yeah.
Yep, 31. What else we got?
Extensor
Uh,
hallucis brevis.
Extensor hallucis brevis and flexor hallucis. The hallucis is the big toe.
Flexor.
Alright.
Instance is flexor hallucis.
And so something's going to flex the big toe. 33 right there. Right to the big toe. You can see if that's going to pull, it's going to cause the big toe to flex. It's going to the bottom of the big toe. And extensor hallucis as well.
I just think it's flexor.
Is that all you got?
Extensor and flexor.
Extensor hallucis.
That's part.
Looking for 30 and 31. Do you have the brevis or the longus? Or
No, they're both correct.
extensor hallucis brevis is 30.
Is
Oh,
AD
right there.
that calcaneus bone, or is it talking about a tendon?
Extensor hallucis brevis. Little tiny one, number 30 right there. Extends the toe.
Which one was that?
Extensor hallucis brevis, number 30.
And then the flexor one you said was like
Number 33, the counterpart to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
flexor. So that makes sense. So
Yeah.
30 and 33 are a pair, extensors and flexors to the big toe. And then it gets extensor digitorum brevis, number 31. Extensor digitorum longus, number 21. Is that all of them?
I think so.
Not too